Okay, we're good? Okay. So this is my video response for my framing and exposure assignment, and I have my notes right here for what I'm supposed to talk about. And it says, the first one is, what problems did you experience? The sun, definitely the sun, clouds, wind, just weather in general was probably the biggest hurdle to overcome, because a lot of the weather we've had recently was, partially cloudy, so I'd get everything perfect, it's all lined up, and then it would get real cloudy, and then my exposure's all messed up, I gotta fix the white balance, tweak it, by the time I'm done with that, sun comes back and I have to do it again. So that's probably the biggest issue I had. Another issue is that I kinda had slight issues with framing and whatnot, because I was moving the camera around a lot. So some shots are, while they're exposed correctly, the framing is a bit off. It's more so for the later half of frames that I captured, so that's okay. Although I will say that, going on to the next question, for the good things about fixed lenses and fixed zoom is that once I have like one zoom that I have to do, it's really it was just so easy to get shots done. Like, it was maybe 2 to 3 minutes of downtime in between shots, so I got those done like really fast. And then it says, what did you notice when comparing part 1 and part 2? Is that part 1, at least the bits that I managed to capture, was that part 1 in general was, I would say, just a bit darker in exposure compared to part 2. I don't know if that's because, as time went on, I had to shift the settings around a little bit more, but that's the main thing that I noticed. And as for lens compression, I didn't really notice anything, although that could be because I'm kind of experienced with lens compression. But one thing I did notice was that the background definitely changed. Not only position, because I was moving my camera around a lot, but it seemed like the background was pretty bright at certain points, although that could be because of the spot that I chose to film, where it was pretty bright compared to the shaded area that I was shooting my subject in. And as for exposure itself, I think I did pretty good for the most part. Didn't have to touch my ISO that much, except for the last couple of shots I had to get, because the spot I was filming in was really shaded, so it was kind of hard to see everything, so I had to tweak that up a little bit. But for the most part, it was pretty good. So, and then I adjusted my f-stop accordingly for when I needed to. So exposure, I think, is pretty consistent for most of my shots. I think. I'd have to double check, but I'm sure they're fine. And then the last question is, how are things going in this class? It's good? Maybe? I'll say good, yeah. So, I think that's about it. I'm gonna go home now.